Tanya and Trish have been with me exercising at the Body Tonic group for a year now. Tanya has been doing personal training and Trish here has been doing group training and personal training. We'd just like to share with you today their experiences, what they've done, and how special our relationship is in terms of their journey and what they're getting from personal training and group training and what I'm getting as a teacher, because without them being part of me and understanding their bodies and their journey, I can't actually enjoy it at the same time. So it is a two-way process, and it is about opening up your mind and allowing yourself to feel your body and to feel and understand the moves that you're doing, because exercise, and I think you'll both agree, is a language. And it's a language in itself, and learning to understand what you're doing. So Tanya, when you came to me, you actually felt that you couldn't really sort of rotate your hips enough or open your legs. You went to the gym, you were not totally unfit. You belonged to other gyms. Tanya actually tried other gyms, and she's had personal trainers. And how did you find the changeover and the learning, and what was the difference that you felt, and why you decided to stick with and stay with what you're doing, and for us to grow, I think, into the friendship and relationship that we have? Because I believe that I do build a friendship and a relationship with every single one of my ladies, and I think that's important, and that means a lot to me. I do get emotional about it because it is really important. So what did you find you felt when you first joined, and the process of what you've gone through?
What I found was that in traditional gyms, I was getting cardiovascular fitness, but I was continually finding that I was getting injuries. I was getting injuries because people would push me to do things that my body wasn't ready for, or they were using the exercise that had worked for other people, and they weren't actually looking at my body and my needs. And when I came to Lynn, you were able to work more like a physio and actually help me to strengthen those things that were weak, and to actually work on the things I really needed, which was back rotation and flexibility in the hips. And my legs, I've spent my whole life with legs that had no shape, and for the first time in my life I had strength and shape in my legs, and I can now go and do anything without fear or without pain. And even though I was fit, I have a new body confidence, and it's not just affected my personal physical self, but my mental self. I have been able to make huge progress with my stress in my life, and that's all been because of what Lynn's done, because she's empowered me physically and mentally.
Your stress levels were so high when you came to me, and they just changed. You learned to manage it. You know, you just came totally like almost out of your own mind, basically, and you've learned to hone that and work with it through the exercise and calm yourself, and just you got in touch with your body.
Yeah, and I, even though I felt I did know quite a lot about my body, but what happened is that I had to rewire the way I did things, and that body consciousness. And a lot of what we learn about in gyms and in PE is all about just doing this muscle group or that. It's not about how the body works as a whole, and also the power of things like stretching and of correct positioning, and that is just something you can't underestimate.
To get that change.
To get the change. You don't have to work. It's not about working harder. It's about doing the exercises
correctly
for your body.
Yeah, for your body. And being able to tweak it and go at a pace that gives you that strength, because it's a bigger picture. That's all. You've got to look further than just the 2 months or the six week challenge or the 30 days. You know, and I think you've done brilliantly, Tanya. I love you to bits. You're great. Your move, the journey you've been on, I've enjoyed it. I really have, my friend. Well done. Yeah. Tanya, when she first came, she couldn't actually reverse down the driveway without being able to turn. She couldn't turn round. Could you? You couldn't turn round, you said, did you? So
Yeah,
it was sore to turn your neck and your back. You couldn't rotate.
I had basically no rotation at all, and I hadn't realised how bad that was. And again in the hip area, there was just basically no flexibility at all. And I'd go to a yoga class, and everyone else would be doing these exercises, and I couldn't even do them. And I'm not that old.
You're far from old,
so
and you're beautiful.
So yeah, and Trish you've had major changes too.
Yes. So I started with Lynn at the Body Tonic group classes, which are 2-week evening classes, and I'd been going to them for about 3 months, and then quickly realised that actually they were helping. And then Lynn said she had a space coming up in her personal training sessions, and other ladies in the group who were doing it had said how much it had helped them.
Which I'm glad you joined.
Yes, so I made the decision to come along, and I must admit I was a bit anxious the first time, so I thought, oh my gosh, what's this going to be like?
Anxious and almost
because you have these perceptions about personal trainers that they're going to really, thrash you, and you're going to be pushed beyond, your limits and stuff. But Lynn was wonderfully gentle.
Thank you.
And she, and she listened to what I was saying about what I felt capable of doing, and she understood that I had a problem with one of my hips particularly, didn't have much flexibility in it. The muscle was very tight, and I didn't have, similar to Tanya, not much rotation in the back, and I'd already had a couple of reversing accidents, which I was not happy about. No. I haven't told Lynn about that before. Over the last a couple of years ago, but that's all because of not being able to look properly.
And having the flexibility
to turn.
Yeah.
And my other concern was the strength in my legs. I couldn't carry shopping up our stairs at home anymore. I was thinking we were going to have to move to a 1-level home. I can't cope with these stairs anymore. So Lynn has worked wonderfully with me, and as I say, with empathy. She's helped me to build up my strength in my legs. She's improved the flexibility in my hips. As Tanya says, those sort of yoga type stretches, or what people consider everyday stretches, I just couldn't do.
Because you can't hold yourself up. You have to build slowly.
Well, even trying to sit on the floor was a difficulty for me. If I got down on the floor to get something out of a low cupboard, I would have to have something to hold on to get myself up again, because I didn't have my strength in my legs.
It's for daily living.
Just living was becoming awful, and that was, so you've made a wonderful change to my daily life, and I feel I can cope again with it, with just the everyday chores, and I just think that the way you've approached it has been wonderful, and I don't have any hesitation about recommending you to others. If you want to improve and you want somebody who listens, Lynn's the one.
Oh, thank you, darling. Thank you. And just tell me, when you do the exercises, Trish, and you sort of stretch into your hip moves, and you bending down and you're going into the stretch, how do you find the understanding within your body of when you're actually doing the moves?
Yes, so the thing that you've told me about, and you've said you should be feeling this muscle or that muscle, and so you've helped me to identify where I should be feeling it, and so I have a better understanding of what should be working, what muscles, and if I'm doing it right, then I know that I'm feeling that, and if I'm not, then we know that it still needs some adjusting.
Yeah.
And I've got to mention my balance too, don't
I? Oh yes.
I was very wobbly. I couldn't balance on one leg, and I'd have to sit down, to put trousers on or anything. But now, through Lynn's help and learning about my core, using my core to hold myself and strengthening my legs and my feet as well, means I now have my balance. back
Yeah.
fairly well.
You have it pretty good. You have it pretty good. Yeah, well done. When you do the exercises, both of you, how do you find the weight issue comes into the balance and the eating and the exercise? Because, you know, most women are, you know, they are carrying more weight. But I always say it's not about how much weight or how thin you are. It's about what you can do with your body, with the body type you've got, and the type of, you know, moves that you can do to make life easier for everyday living, as you say. So how do you what do you think about that, the weight loss as opposed to the strengthening and the exercise?
For me, I personally think that people have too much emphasis on people's size, and that being flexible, strong, and eating nourishing foods, it's not about the number. It's about being well, it's about being strong and confident. And if you want and need to lose that weight, that will come because you're then in a right place to make positive choices.
Yeah.
But it's about making positive choices, it's about strengthening the body, eating food, nurturing yourself. And it can take a while to turn things around.
Yeah, because with both of you, turning things around, I always say that it takes at least 4 months before you start to feel the changes, understand the moves, and just execute the movements correctly, so that you can then feel the muscle and then be able to push yourself. Is that right?
Yes.
You have to sort of, you have to learning anything takes time, and the neurons in your brain and that have to learn and connect with this new style of exercise.
Yeah.
Because I said before, people have been taught a specific way of using their muscles, and not about being body conscious. And it takes time, but it's something you carry with you into everyday life. Like you said, you know, when you do other things, you're then conscious of how you're holding yourself, and you're able to engage your core and do things properly.
Yeah. I just want to say thank you to both of you. I love you being with me, and thank you for sharing your stories and your passion and just keeping going. Yeah, thanks. Thank you.